Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 28 of our My Team career mode with Jordan. In today's video we have the Spanish Grand Prix. As you can see, we've already done first practice. I'll be going ahead and simulating the rest of free practice, but we have had an upgrade, and as you can see, we're pretty much nip and tuck with Ferrari and Red Bull now in terms of outright vehicle performance. Now, obviously, around different circuits, it might be a bit different, but around Catalonia, at least, you know, one of the most balanced tracks on the calendar, we should be at least in the mix of Q3. But having said that, looking at the weather, it is going to be raining, but sometimes that's when the Jordan comes out and shines, so we'll just have to see. But thank you for all the support on the series so far. Make sure you keep hitting that thumbs up button down below and getting involved in the comment section. It really is amazing. I'm reading every single one, and seeing how much you guys are enjoying it is just giving me so much motivation to keep this daily. It is a challenge to do daily F1 content, especially when you've got so much else on the channel as well, of course, with daily snooker 19 videos over the course of the World Snooker Championship, and yeah, just so many plates spinning. But it's so much motivation to see you guys engaging in the comment section and really getting involved, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, we'll see how we get on in qualifying. Well, we're coming up to the line here in a wet qualifying. What's it going to be? It's a 1:29.2, which of course isn't the best time, but you know, I think we can certainly improve on that, and we usually do in wet conditions. Second and third lap, you get the confidence, you know where the grip is, and hopefully we'll be able to put in a much improved lap. Well, coming around the final corner, and you can already see we're 1.2, 1.3 seconds up, and we go up to 5th place. That's a really solid lap, and it just shows, you know, keep the faith. Always put a little bit of extra fuel in the wet conditions, because your confidence will just grow and grow, and the conditions will get faster and faster. And you can see we're already 0.2 of a second up already in this first sector. Constantly changing conditions, this. Well, there we go. You can see we got through in 7th place in the end, so safely through to Q2. Very decent time there at the end. A couple of tenths quicker than Sergio Perez, a 1:26.6. Things are looking good for us. Well, as you can see, guys, it's definitely a drying track, and we come up to the line and we currently go 10th, which isn't too bad, but I do think dry tyres are going to be very, very soon. Might just drive around one more time and see if my suspicions are correct. I mean, what does Jeff think? Let's have a little chat to him.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Oh, well, we go a little bit wide there, so still a little bit slippy off the dry line, but we'll get back in. We might risk it. We might risk it. Well, there you go. DRS enabled on our final flying lap. This is going to be really interesting to see whether this is going to be enough, or whether we are going to go out here. Grip is definitely coming. I just think we might be in the crossover stage, but hopefully by the end of the lap I'm going to be able to be a lot quicker. Definitely going quicker than the guys above us. We feel like this sector more than any, this is where we're going to make our time. Just feels like an ice rink, this track. But here we come, coming around the final corner, up to the line. What's it going to be? Second place. Well, I think we can be delighted with that. And through to Q3 very easily in the end, but through on the soft tyres, which could prove crucial tomorrow, because that means we have to start on those tyres. But Sergio Perez drops out in the end. I mean, it shows you what kind of crossover we were on there, that we weren't actually that much quicker than the guys in the top 10, but quick enough to get through. And going out in Q2 then are Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Kvyat, Perez, Gasly and Lando Norris. Well, here we come round the final corner. This has been an immense lap in this car, and we come up to the line. It's a 1:16 flat. What a lap that felt like. That was amazing. And well, currently ahead of Alexander Albon and Sebastian Vettel, and I think there's even more to get out of the car. That just felt so quick. Well, this is an even better lap. We come up to the line 0.3 quicker. Where do we qualify? 6th. I'll take that, definitely. That is a brilliant qualifying session for our Jordan team, and shows just what our credentials are.
Let's review our top 3 today. Hamilton, Bottas and Max Verstappen. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Still a long way off the likes of Lewis Hamilton and Bottas up there at the top, but mixing it with the Red Bulls and Ferraris, I'll certainly settle for that, and hopefully we can have a nice attacking turn 1 tomorrow, and we can see if we can get some more big points.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Now I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, the captain, and Sainz, Albon, Ocon, Stroll, and Daniel Ricciardo. Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty. Raikkonen, Daniel Kvyat, and Perez. Gasly, Norris, Mick Schumacher, and Nicholas Latifi. Russell, Grosjean, Magnussen, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Well, here we are down on the track then, ready and raring to go for this Spanish Grand Prix. I cannot wait. Just like last year, I was really excited for that Grand Prix as well, but we did have an incident on lap 1 last year, and that affected the rest of our race. We lost a little bit of our front wing. We went wide out of turn 3, and we had to spend the rest of the race battling to try and catch up to the back of the field, and I think we just about did in the end, but it was a disappointing
After
Grand
the
Prix.
points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So very much looking like we're going to have to watch our tyre wear today. I think potentially we look at stopping maybe on lap 5. It only costs us 1/10 of a second, and I think actually it'll give us better track position, because if you look at the tyre life, it's going to go below 50% by lap 5 of this Grand Prix. But I mean, you know, even coming in a lap earlier, maybe lap 4, maybe really risk this. What would happen if I picked hards for the second stint? It wouldn't be as good. I'm thinking lap 4. Yeah, lap 4. That's what we're gonna go for. We're gonna go for a really aggressive strategy here. Try and really try and push this car hard. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. Here we go. So bit of a jump start off the.
Let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
Remember, we're the only one in the top 10 that will be starting on the tyres we started on in Q2. Now, I find it interesting that nobody's starting on the medium tyres. You know, at least trying them. But, you know, we'll try our best to push the car hard in the first 4 laps or so. Come into the pits and hopefully
no threat of rain for the time being.
Track position
is looking good.
So hopefully you guys are good and looking forward to this Grand Prix. Make sure if you haven't already to hit that like button if you are enjoying it. And, I really think this could be the second part of a really strong middle part of the season. We had a strong middle part of the year last year, but this year really hoping to continue that trend. Not expecting the pace to be brilliant in Monaco, but we'll try our best, and if we qualify well, we can certainly get some good points. But here we come, ready for the race start then. And Valtteri Bottas starting on pole position. He'll be looking to dance off into the sunset today. Verstappen second, Leclerc third, with Vettel fourth, we're fifth, with Sainz behind us in sixth, Albon seventh, Ocon eighth, Stroll ninth, and Daniel Ricciardo in 10th on the grid. So here we go, ready for the lights then.
Patient and watch for the lights.
Oof. Here we go. So waiting for the Williams car at the back, but it should be absolutely fine. Here we go. Lights out, away we go here in Spain, Barcelona. And we nearly had a big spin there. Good job we seen that Sainz was there on our inside, and we just take it quite cautiously into the first corner. We go a little bit wide, which you're allowed to do, of course, at turn 1, just to allow us to keep our track position. So we stay in 5th for the moment. You can see Verstappen and Bottas side by side up ahead. Could there be an incident between those two? Verstappen round the outside and he's through. I was saying about Bottas wanting to waltz off into the sunset in this Grand Prix, and he's going to have to work hard because Verstappen is there, and Leclerc is wanting to get involved as well, as we go very wide there with the dirty air. And you can see Albon goes round our outside, but obviously we have the inside line there and easily able to get back past. So bit of a uneventful start certainly for us, but hopefully we can settle down now and really push these tyres hard as we lock up slightly into this Monaco-esque sector. So here we come on to lap 2. Looks like Max Verstappen definitely leading the way. Very good start for him.
You'll be on the mediums.
Can we hold off Albon here? We should be able to. It's all going to be about coming in, getting that undercut, and you know, if we can get close enough to Vettel, could be a potential to undercut him. Right then, here we come into the pit lane then. We've stayed within a second of Sebastian Vettel throughout that first stint. and pretty much took everything that we could out of the tyres. Okay, they didn't wear down as much as we thought, but I think it's very much worth getting on the fresh pair of boots, and we can see how well we can do here.
Go, go, go.
Tell you what, our pit stops have certainly been a lot slower
See these tyres through to the end now.
than last season at the moment, but hopefully we can
Pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
hopefully we can put in some good pace here over the next 2, 3, 4 laps and get ahead of Vettel. Well, there's Vettel there. He's come in a couple of laps later just to cover us, and you can see he was just in front. I think one more lap and we would have had him there, but we've at least held the same gap to Sebastian, and certainly while he's warming his tyres up, we might have a chance at him here, especially with Kevin Magnussen just in front as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Well, there's Albon. He's managed possibly an overcut,
So far.
but we're through. Hamilton behind as well. He's looking like he might be catching up to this group very, very soon. We're so close to getting Vettel here. And I actually feel if we got past him, we could pull away. I think it's just the dirty air that's our problem at the moment. But staying close. Well, you join me 5 laps from the end of this Grand Prix. You can see Vettel is pulled away from us a little bit. A couple of scruffy laps from us meant we dropped outside of the DRS range, and yeah, it's just very difficult to stay close unless you've got DRS because of the turbulent air, but we should be fine to hold off Albon. It's all going to be whether Hamilton gets past. That's going to be the problem, because if Hamilton gets past Albon, he's not going to really have too much of an issue passing us. So Albon's a good little blocker at the moment. I'm not concerned about him passing us, but equally he's holding back Hamilton, so it's a win-win for us. Well, with 3 laps to go, I don't know what happened at Albon, but he's no longer behind us. Hamilton is behind us, and Sainz has managed to overtake Albon as well, and you can see that he's a good 10 seconds behind. So don't know what's happening to Albon. Maybe he's had some sort of mechanical issue or something along the lines of that, although Jeff usually does tell you about those sorts of things, but yeah, nobody knows. But Hamilton right behind us, and he's going to be hounding our gearbox for the rest of this Grand Prix. It's going to be very tough to keep that Mercedes car behind us.
This is your final lap of the race.
Well, final lap, and you can see Hamilton is having a look down our inside. We're going to give him the space because we know we had the inside round the other turn. Hamilton is going to have to try everything in his powers to get past us this lap. I don't think he's going to be able to do it unless we have a huge mistake here, which isn't looking likely. We're just placing our car in the best possible place, giving ourselves the best possible exit. It just seems like it's meant to be. Our car's been quick this weekend. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Albon has just put in the fastest lap, incidentally, so I wonder whether he came in and put on a set of soft tyres a little bit wide there. It's all going to be about the exit out of the final corner. I don't think Hamilton is going to have enough. Bottas has just put in another fastest lap and he's won the Grand Prix. How on earth has he managed that? How did he get back past Max Verstappen? But look at this. We go a little bit skew whiff out of that final corner. We come up to the line and Hamilton isn't going to have enough. But boy, that was close. But 5th place will definitely settle for that.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, what a fabulous Grand Prix. Really enjoyed it. There wasn't a lot of action, but staying within a second, lap after lap, behind Sebastian Vettel was just so fun. And even though we lost a bit of pace towards the end, probably because our tyres were a little bit older, battling to defend off Hamilton was really fun. And yeah, finishing 5th, another 10 points into the kitty, and that's just going to really help us as we progress as a team. Monaco next, not expecting big results there, although we did get a double points finish there last season, so we'll see if we can replicate that. But certainly looking forward to the likes of Canada and Baku, Austria of course, where we had a podium last year. I just think there's some special things coming. We've just got one more race to get through, and I'm going to call it now. I think we're going to win our first Grand Prix, either myself or Sergio, in the next 6-7 races. I think between now and Italy, one of those Grand Prix, there's going to be a Jordan GP driver on the top step of the podium. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. It really does help out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for daily F1 2020 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.